Eyes down for people. It's all suspended, it's nicely balanced. I've got my guide studs in, so we're ready to lower him down carefully onto the guide studs and onto the gasket. So that's what I'm going to do now, and I'll bring you back when I've done it. Yes, I'll bring you back when I've done it. I won't put you on the tripod because I'll be too stressed. Okay, bye now. A minor panic when the guide stud there hit against there and it wouldn't go down, and the guide stud at this end hit against the front of the hydraulics control, but it went past it. It was just a bit tighter, so that one was fine. So there we are. She's on. Just a matter now of putting the bolts back in. Just a matter of putting the bolts back in, nipping it up, and she's all back together. And we're back to where we were 3 weeks ago, before this nightmare occurred. But there is a good side to the story, because if I'd decided just to wash it out and put new oil in it, the hydraulics wouldn't have worked anyway, because the seal is the actual main piston seal, as you can see. I think I showed you this before actually, is absolutely knackered. The main piston seal is absolutely knackered, so it wouldn't have worked anyway. So it's a good thing I did strip it and rebuild it, really, provided it works. Of course, we haven't got it working yet. Right, I'm going to sort out all these bolts and put them back in, and when I've done that, just for a change, I'm going to have another go at getting that bloody bolt out, and then we can move forward. I think the plan that's forming in my mind is to pop the radiator back on, get it started, back it outside, give it a good hose down and a pressure. I was saying, the button on this camera is amazingly sensitive in one area, and you have to push it like hell to make it work in other areas. But there you go. As I was saying, back it outside, give it a good power wash, bring it back in, and then get the wheels and the back mudguards off, and they can go off for sandblasting. Then the next thing I'm going to tackle, I think, is take the tank off, paint the tank, and take the steering box off and put the new bushes and the new seal in the steering box, because the steering box is absolutely pouring oil out. And I'm sort of, once I get in the steering box, if it needs any more parts, they are still available, so I would get the parts then. But I've got the seals and I've got the bushes, and I can see one of the bushes is worn, and I can see that the let me just show you around here. It's been leaking oil badly down there. Look, you can see it. Can you see it? You can probably see it there. It's leaking badly, and it's got quite a lot of play on it, so that one's doing. It's all sticky down the back of here where it's been running down. So there we go. So we've made progress, we've advanced to tech level, and it's beginning to look quite good. Right, I'll crack on, I'll get these bolts in and I'll bring you back. Bye now. Pipe up to put it back on, and I left that bit in the vise and it drained. Look what was in it. Isn't that bloody fun? It's still full of crap. Right, I shall carry on cleaning up, but first I shall show you it with all the bolts back in and tightened down. All nipped up, tightened down and ready. So I'm just going to put the tip pipe back on, and then that's that part finished, and I can then put the radiator back on, stick some water in it, get it outside and power wash it. All the engine, all the gearbox and all the other bits, and then we'll get it back in, take the wheels off, take the mudguards off. But first I'm going to have to take that stud out. I'm going to get that stud out, I've decided. Right, bye now. Hydraulics finished. Thank the Lord for that. Let's hope there aren't any problems with this. I could put the seat back on. put the seat back on. There you go. Right, I'm going to have a cup of tea, and then I might even put the seat back on. Always assuming I can find it. It's around here somewhere. I know it's around here somewhere. Oh well, there it is, look. There it is. Trust it to be awkward because I'm using the camera. No. There we are, the sit-upon. Right. Bring you back later. Bye now. Cup of tea time. Wednesday, and instead of cracking on with the bolt, I had to tidy up because we were getting into a bit of a mess. So we've got this done. I have that stuff to lift inside yet. We've got this done, we've got that back together. We've got a nice tidy workshop. Just a bit more work required on the bench in the morning. And then tomorrow morning I'm going to have another go at that bloody bolt. And this time I'm going to heat it from the back as well. And see if that will fetch it out. See what happens. Okay. Catch you all tomorrow. Bye now. People. It's Thursday. I've run my errand. I've finished cleaning the bench down, and I mean cleaning the bench down. I've managed to get all that black foulness from the tractor off it. I've been putting my, increasing my displayed items that my wife has chucked out the house. Up here, these are all things. My eldest daughter did that 2CV for me for my birthday. That's a lino cut that she did. But it's just a general collection of odds and sods and bits and pieces. So I'm just going to put some more magnet strips up, another 3 above those 3, and then I shall crack on with that bolt. Now I've got a really tidy workshop to work in. You have to stop every now and again and do this, because if you don't, you just get completely, you start losing stuff disappears, and you start losing things everywhere and you can't find anything, you get frustrated. So a little bit of stop and improvement. It doesn't make very good video, but I'll show you it when I get these 3 magnet strips up and get them loaded up with stuff. I might actually put the hammers up there and put something else on where the hammers are. I don't know. We will see. It will ergonomically develop as I build it. Right. Okay, bring you back in a bit. Bye now. Dell here at Machine Nut Dell. I've just got me, this is my test bar, my lathe test bar. Can you see the gauge there? The black markings are half thous. I don't know if you can see there, there is a tiny amount of movement, certainly not half a thou. It looks about a, yeah, and the red markings are 0.01 of a millimetre, so 1/100th of a millimetre, and we're not, it's really, the movement is imperceptible, so I'm quite pleased with that. I'm just going to transfer along to the other end and check the other end now, so I'll bring you back in a second. You can see this bit here is the shocker. Is that focused? So it's slightly under 1.5 thou deflection here, slightly under 1.5 thou. 0 at this end, slightly under 1.5 thou there, which is odd, but there you go. And I've tried everything to, I've checked that my centres are okay, I've checked that everything's rigid. If you move the bar, shake the whole table, the needle hardly moves at all, but as soon as you rotate it so there is error in it. There's one run out between that point and that point, which I think, as I remember it, is more than was claimed, but I'll have to check up on that and get back to you. It is an Indian one. I mean, I think it was 24 quid, something like that. It wasn't very expensive. It's from RDG. It wasn't really expensive, but I'll check up on the claimed accuracy and I'll get back to you on that. But yes, there is, even though it's a test bar, there is run out on it. There's always going to be run out on it. The more you pay for a test bar, theoretically, the more accurate it should be. But there you go. This is a cheap one. It's made in India. What can you expect? Right, that's for Dell. See you later, peeps. Bye now. Another one up, another one populated. It's within easy reach to me, but it means short people can't steal my tools. So there you go. So I've just put that stuff on there for now. It frees me a lot of space up in this, which was originally put up here for files. But there you go. It works. It's looking better all the time. Every day and everywhere we're getting better and better. That doesn't really work. I've got too much stuff on there. I might move junior hacksaws to on there, I think. But anyway, we need to get better organised, and we're doing it. Right, I'm now going to drag the welder out, and I'm going to have another go at that bloody bolt. I'll see you in a minute. Bye now. Folks, Thursday, 4:45, 10 to 5. I've repaired that wing that I sheared off on the hydraulic stop. Put that back on. I found another bung. I found another bung for the gearbox, and I've put that back on. So that's that sorted. And I've had a couple of goes at this bloody bolt, as you can see by the sheared off nuts down there. Now, let me just get you can see in there, that bolt is clear, the end is good, and I'm just not getting a fix to it. So what I'm going to try and do, see what Calamity Kim tends to do, is to take all this off, take this whole thing off, right, and work right against the casting. I don't particularly want to do that in case any more of them shear off. Now I know these generally shear off in service with the whole frame twisting, not whilst people are trying to undo them. But I don't know how much hammer these have had and whatever, you know, so I don't really want to take them off. So what I'm going to do tomorrow is I've made a nice ugly punch mark right in the middle of that bloody stud. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole in the end of the stud. Maybe I can get a 1/4 inch hole in the end of the stud, and then I'm going to start the weld down. Then I'm going to start the weld down the hole, and I'm going to put a washer over there, and I'm going to bring the weld out onto the washer, and then I'm going to weld a nut to the washer when I've already got a flat area to weld onto. I think that gives me the best chance of getting that out. And if that doesn't get it, I'll give that a few tries, and if that doesn't get it, I'm going to drill it out and re-tap it. Because this is just going on and on, bloody on. And I've had enough. I've just had enough of it. I got that other one out no problem, out of the PTO casting, PTO bearing shaft end casting, whatever you want to call it. But this one is proving recalcitrant, shall we say. Anyway folks, that's it. It's Thursday, it's 5 o'clock, and I'm off home. See you tomorrow. Bye now. Hey folks, it's Friday, and I had inspiration last night on how to get this bolt out, or at least another method. So at first I thought, if I get a washer, soften it, and then press the middle of the washer into a T-shape, very much like this, I can put that into the hole, I can weld it full power solid without worrying about welding it to the outer frame, and then I can weld a nut on the outside. Well, when I looked through, I've got all sorts of things this shape, but none of them fitted perfectly as this did. So with a little bit of modification on the lathe, I'm going to take this, and I'm going to pop it in there like that, where it fits perfectly right down to the edge of the bolt, and I'm going to weld it full power to the bolt confidently, because I know I can't then weld to this outer frame. So then I'm going to weld a nut on the outside and see what we can do with that. But I did notice when I was doing that other one, when I was doing the one in the oh, you're not going to see round here, are you? I did one there in the PTO shaft housing, and then when I putting the washer on was the magic. Oh, it's there. Putting the washer on was the magic. I put the washer around the bit of remaining bolt, welded it to the washer, and then welded the nut to the washer, and out it came straight away. So there you go, so there it is. Right, I'm going to get on with that and see if we can make some difference. I'll bring you back if I can. Bye now. It's held in place by a magnet which I'm hoping isn't going to drag the arc to one side. I did notice when I did a setup for some TIG welding some time ago that when I used the welding magnets, the right angle welding magnets, no chance. It just drags the arc all over the place. You can't have any magnetic field near a TIG. But whether the same applies with MIG or not, I don't know. We'll wait and see. Right, time to weld it. I'm going to get set up. Bye now. Well, that welded really well. So now a nut on, and see if I can make a job of it. I could even turn that outside circle, but I'm going to put a nut on it anyway. I should have got them two flats on it, shouldn't I? What a plonker. Never mind. Here we go. Bring you back in a moment. Success of a kind. I gave up on the welding. I was not getting a proper weld onto the stud. Right, and I think the reason for that was because I was welding down too deep a hole. It just wasn't sticking to the stud, it was shearing off the stud every time. So I flattened the end of the stud, got a really good centre in it. I've drilled it right down the centre. It's most important that when you mark the centre of a stud to put the first small drill through it, that you get that as close to the centre and preferably bang on in the centre. You can't always do it, but it's so important, and this time I'm jammy and I've done it, and I've gone into, it feels like I'm going into the original thread with the tap. So there you go. I've tried to pick the thread out and I couldn't get it to start, so I've gone in with this and it's going well. So job's done, thank goodness. I should have done this when I first started it. Bye now. Friends, we've got a bolt in it and a spring washer because it was just slightly too long. So that's the job done. Thank God for that. Right, I can now get on with the rest of the tractor with a clear head. But first, I'm going to have a cup of tea because it's 3:23 and that's time for tea. Bye now. It's 5 o'clock, it's Friday, it's not crackerjack. I've just put the 4 bolts in there. And that was the last job of the week. Am I glad I've got that bloody bolt done. So, a successful week, all the hydraulics is back together. Next job, next week, get it running, get it outside, power wash it. Once we've power washed it, back wheels off, back mudguards off, and they go straight down to the sandblasters at Brandsburton for sandblasting. I'm not going to bother with these front ones because they're cast iron and I've needle gunned them off and they're fine for painting. And whilst they're off, once this is cleaned, once this is pressure washed down, whilst the wheels and mudguards are off, I shall paint the body. But first, I'll take the tank off. In fact, I might do that first. I'll take the tank off and fix the steering box, because that's about the last, I think that's the last mechanical job to do really. Fix the steering box. Yeah, anything else to do? No, I think it's all done. So that's what I'll do next week. Get it cleaned down, fix the steering box. We can paint the tank off. I have to fit the temperature gauge. That needn't be done really well. I will do it before it's painted. Fit the temperature gauge, and I'm not going to put the dynamo back on until after it's painted. No, I think as far as mechanical jobs go, that's it. That's it. When I get the mud guards off, I'll take the footboards off as well, because I might put some new brake cables on it, because I noticed that one of them, the one at that side, which is the old one, is frayed, and the one at this side, which I made a new one for, is alright, it's working perfectly, but it's not got proper ends on it. It's actually bent round and got cinch bolts on it, wire cinches on it. So I might lash out and buy a new pair of brake pipes. But anyway, that's it for now. So thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, thanks for sending me all the comments, and I'll see you all on Monday. Bye now.